welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this really pretty fall flower wreath using a center that my awesome friend Kim from Nothing But Bows sent me. If you will look in the description box of this video, and I'll also pin a comment, I'm going to put a link to where you can get some of her flower centers. They are one of a kind. They are handmade, so no two are going to be alike. Anyway, go check her out and grab some because these things sell out fast. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Alrighty, y'all, let us get started. First off, what you're going to need, one of these beautiful flower centers that my lovely friend Kim sent me. Now, Kim hand pours these centers, so no two are going to be exactly alike. She is the one that created this technique for wreath centers. I know a lot of people out there trying to copy that right now, but she's the pioneer of this. So anyway, once you order them from her, you're going to see these little nubbies on the bottom. Do not cut those off because that is what seals all of this and keeps it protected, okay? Where it has dripped down, it has sealed it. So anyway, you're going to use one of these centers. We're also going to use, hold on, a 12-inch wreath frame. And you're going to put a piece of plastic canvas in the center. You can get this plastic canvas pretty much at any craft store. You can get wreath frames everywhere. And you can get deco mesh anywhere. But I'll tell you where I really like to get my supplies. That is Mel's Crafty Mojo. If you'll look in the description box, I'm going to have a link to Mel's Crafty Mojo. You can get all sorts of really awesome wreath supplies there. So like I said, this is a 12-inch frame. And then I took the piece of plastic canvas. I cut it. And then I fastened it to the center with some very small zip ties like these. I just fastened it around, and this is what we're going to use for our center and also for some of our mesh. So let's get this out of the way. And I have two colors of mesh here. Now this mesh has been in my possession for quite a long time. I don't know if you can find this exact color, but Mel's will have something comparable that will look, you know, really nice on a flower wreath. So first off, I'm going to start cutting this gold. And this is kind of raggedy right here, so I'm just going to trim off this edge to make it nice and neat, and then we'll measure it. But this is 6-inch mesh, and we're going to be cutting it into 10-inch pieces. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you will know that this petal, I don't even want to call it a petal. I was just playing around one day and made a wreath with it. But this was on a wreath of mine quite a while back, and a lot of y'all have said that you really liked it, so I'm going to be using it again. Now this little handy doohickey here that I'm using, this is just a wood burner. Once again, look in the description box and I'll show you where you can get one. But when you cut your mesh, you see like these the little lines running down, cut in between them, okay? And that is what's going to help it to stop fraying. But like I said, we're cutting this to 10 inches. So I'm just going to be cutting this one on camera. And I know that this looks like I'm cutting it crooked, but I'm cutting in between the lines there. And it will actually be straight once I pick it up and fluff it out. So I'm going to cut a whole bunch of these at 10 inches, and then we'll come back and start putting them on. Okay, I know there's noise in the background, but it's hot in here, and I have a fan on. So you know what? Let me redo my camera here a little bit. There we go. All right, so now that I have a handful of these cut, and I don't know exactly how many I'm going to use on this wreath frame, of course, when I get done, I'll tell you how much I used. But anyway, you're going to take your piece of mesh. You see the rectangle that you have just cut? And you're going to grab opposite corners here and just pull it. Whee! Like that. Just pull it and things are going to start kind of wrapping in on themselves. And then I'm just going to bend it straight up like that. And then we're going to fasten this down to our wreath frame. And I think what I'm going to do here, because I don't want this to be very big, let's set this here because I'm going to have the gold in the center because this is sort of like a print. I'm going to have this solid gold mesh in the center to kind of break up the center from the printed mesh. So I want this to be right about here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to start putting it right here. I don't want this one to be very big. So yeah, so now we're going to take a zip tie and I'm just going to come up around it like so. Let's tighten it down a little bit. You see where I'll put that one? Not the center one, but this one right here. And then I'm just going to stick my petal down in there and tighten it right down. There we go. And then I'll trim that off. And now I'm going to do that with the remainder of this striped mesh here. let's see, there's one. I think you're going to be able to probably get 4 petals per section. I'm going to work on it and I'll tell you. But anyway, let me get some more of these put on and we'll come back and start with the gold. Okay, so I have 5 petals now in this section, and let's take a look at it. And I think 5 is going to be just fine. I want this to sort of be like a rustic looking, you know, like a fall flower, okay? I don't want things to be, you know, all perfect in place. I don't like that. So this looks good to me. If you want to put more, but I think 5 petals for what I want it to look like, I think that is going to be just fine, okay? So now I'm going to continue around putting 5 petals in each section, and it will make your life easier if you go ahead and take your zip ties, put them on your frame. Don't tighten them down, of course. Just, you know, get them started, get them put on your frame, leave them kind of loose, and then make your petal and just stick them in there and tighten them down, okay? So let me work on this and I'll be back. Alrighty, so this is what we have so far. I am very happy with it. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. Yes, I took my Band-Aid off. My owie is getting better. And I hate Band-Aids. I hate constrictive things. I hate clothes. If I didn't have to wear clothes, I wouldn't. But anyway, this is how much I have left on my 6-inch roll of mesh. And this was a standard 10-yard length of mesh, okay? And that's how much we have left of that one. So now we're going to move along to the gold color. Now this gold color is pretty sheer. So let's see if we make our little petal doohickey out of the gold. I think what we might want to do, I'm going to overlap them a little bit. Yeah, because let's get our center, and let's see where our center is going to be. And then you want the end of your mesh, of course, to be under your center so that you don't see it. I think that's going to look okay. So I'm really just going to compress the gold mesh together. I'm running out of zip ties. I'm running out of zip ties. But anyway, let me run this up through the mesh. Okay, so I have my zip tie there. And for this petal here, like I said, because this gold is so sheer, what I did is I laid 2 pieces of mesh, one on top of each other, and then made the petals just like we did up here, just pulling the opposite corners. That way, you know, you get a thicker mesh and you're not going to have to use up all your zip ties. So there we go. Now let me get another zip tie, and I'm just going to put it kind of close, like so. And I don't know exactly how many of these I'm going to put on here. When I'm done, then we'll know. Okay, see how I just put that one on there? And then let's take, this mesh is sticking to my yarn. I'm working on a crochet project over here and I got yarn. So I'm just going to take these 2 pieces, I'm just going to lay them together like so. And then, you know, grab the opposite ends and pull them, just like we did with all the others. And then bend it. See, that makes it a little bit thicker. But yet you're only using like 1 zip tie. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to work with more of this gold. I'm going to go just around in a circle, and I'm going to constantly just be laying my center here, you know, to keep everything in order. And then once I get the gold on, we'll come back. We'll see how much I used and how many little petals I made. All right, this is what we have. I made 18 petals in the center, and I don't have any of the gold mesh left. Actually, I had to find another little scrap piece and put in with that last petal. So, you know, it could have just been that I didn't have quite the 10 yards. But anyway, I used an entire roll of the gold mesh. So now let's talk about this center. Like I said at the beginning of the video, just look down in the description box and I'll show you where to get this. But I'm going to be using these floral pins, the little U-shaped pins, and some pipe cleaners to attach this center. All right, so let's get our pipe cleaners. Oh my gosh, these are called fuzzy sticks. Really? These are pipe cleaners. So let's just get a handful out, and I'm going to turn this over. Let's just take our pipe cleaner and kind of bend it into a U shape here. And these are the big pins. I wish I would have had the smaller ones, but anyway, this is what we have. And I'm going to put these, whoa, kind of right here. Now, when you're pushing these pins in, be careful that you don't get close to the side like that, because then you're going to push them right through the side. So when I put this on, I'm going to angle it. Okay, I'm just going to angle it down like that. And that's going to hold on our pipe cleaners, and you put it at an angle. It's going to be very difficult. Like if you have cats, dogs, or feral children running around, they're not going to be able to pull the center off because this is going in at an angle. So I'm just going to put a couple of these on here just to hold it down, and then we'll attach it to the wreath. All right, so I have the, oh, jellyfish. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the pipe cleaners, I'm gonna run them down in between the petals, through the plastic canvas, and then we're gonna tighten it up on the back. So just get everything centered the way you want it to be. And then just take the pipe cleaners, like I said, run it down between the petals and then through your plastic canvas. Like so. And this is going to take me a minute to get all of them done. So I'm going to work on that for a minute and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. Alright, so there's our center. And if you flip it over, this is the back. I didn't tighten anything down until I made sure that the center was exactly where I wanted it to be and everything looked good. Now I'm going to tighten it down. I'm going to take my wire cutters and I'm just going to trim off all these excess ends. They're not going to be hanging out everywhere. I'm going to trim all that away and then your wreath is going to be done. I don't cover the back of my wreath. So if you want to, you can use a round placemat, zip tie it to the frame to cover it. But anyway, there we go. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would, look in the description box and check out my jewelry link, Paparazzi. Click on that link, then click on shop and hang around after the video to see the full photo. But anyway, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, check me out on other forms of social media, links to all of which are in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye!